Ladies and gentlemen.
You need Lyptus.
You need Mentho. Oh.
You need Lyptus because it has menthol to help clear a stuffy nose and eucalyptus to help ease a sore throat. Lyptus works 2 ways to help your nose and throat.
Beautiful, isn't it? Tropical climate, rich volcanic soil, perfect conditions for growing great coffee. Coffee that Maxwell House will use, but that's only half the story. So what is it that makes Maxwell House so special? Well, Maxwell House know the secret of holding in more flavor. Flavor some other coffees. Let's go. Beautiful. Of course, to grow coffee, you also need rain.
Maxwell House holds in more flavor.
If in 1975 you'd invested a £100 nest egg in index-linked national savings certificates, do you know how much it'd be worth today? More than double, £213. The new issue carries exactly the same guarantee, a guarantee to keep pace with inflation. But now, everybody over 60 can buy up to £3,000 worth at post offices or TSBs. Index-linked national savings certificates, so they're guaranteed against inflation.
When you want to clear the air, wave a wand. When you want to clear the air, wave a wand.
Now from Airwick, there's Air Wand, a new air freshener that works like 2. No need to spray over problem smells. Wave them goodbye with Air Wand. Leave Air Wand standing, and it delivers Airwick freshness for at least 60 days.
When you want to clear the air, wave a wand.
New Air Wand, the 2-way air freshener from Airwick.
Surprise them.
Atora, so it can do it.
Warm them.
Atora, so it can do it.
Tempt them.
Atora, so it can do it.
Please them.
Atora, so it can do it.
Look for this symbol and bag a Danish Bacon bargain now.
Yoo-hoo! Whatever's that? That's the new look shine I get when I clean with Ajax Cream. Look, Ajax Cream powers through the toughest grease and burnt-on stains. But because it doesn't scratch, Ajax Cream keeps that new look shine. See? That's the new look shine you get with Ajax Cream. Wonderful!
Ajax Cream keeps that new look shine.
Jason likes Whiskas better than anything. Whiskas is always exactly as Whiskas always should be. You know, it's firm and chunky and it's always just right. You're better buying a good cat food and your cat eating the lot than buying a cheap one and throwing it away. Well, you've only got to watch Jason eat a plate of Whiskas and you know he likes it. You know, he has a full bowl to start with and an empty bowl when he's finished. He eats every little bit. He doesn't leave a scrap. It's extremely good value. I think Whiskas is the best value on the market because there's never any wasted. Life would be impossible without Whiskas.
Whiskas Super Meat. In tests, 8 out of 10 owners said their cats preferred it.
Hello, in tonight's Thames News, why the Airports Authority wants Stansted to take off as London's 3rd airport.
We'll also be reporting on a fight to save London's last water meadow, investigating how touts get their tickets, and why a drug centre is facing closure.
So join us for all the latest Thames News at 6 o'clock. See you then.
The news at 5:45 with Leonard Parkin.
The Iran embassy siege, the inquest hears the stories of unnamed SAS men. Water workers pay, the employers are making a new offer. Scottish fishermen tie up their boats and refuse to sail in a fight against cheap imports. Good evening. SAS men, including 2 who were in court, have been telling a coroner's court in London what happened in the final moments of the siege at the Iranian embassy in May last year. The coroner told the jury that they must disregard what they'd already heard about the siege.
For the first time this afternoon, some of the SAS men who took part in the successful storming of the Iranian embassy have been seen in public. Their identity has always been a closely guarded secret, for fear that they themselves might be the target of a terrorist attack. but 2 of the SAS soldiers were smuggled this afternoon into the coroner's court. But even then, they were only known by a letter. The first, Soldier I, stood tall in a dark raincoat and in a quiet voice described how the terrorist Faisal met his death. The soldier said that the hostages were being brought down the embassy stairs when he heard someone shout, "This is a terrorist," and he saw a man in a green combat jacket with a grenade in his hand. The soldier said he hit the man on the head with the butt of his weapon and then heard gunfire from his colleagues behind him, and the man was shot down. Well, at this point, the proceedings of the court were dramatically interrupted. Mr. Ronald Morris, a chauffeur who'd been one of the hostages, stepped forward and grasped the soldier by the hand. "Thank you very much. We're very grateful," he said. "Thank all your colleagues." A second SAS man, Soldier CC, small and neat in a light sports coat, described how he'd been searching the terrorist known as Mackie. The man was spread-eagled, and the soldier said he saw him move as if going for a pistol magazine holster. There were 2 bursts of automatic fire, and the SAS had killed the terrorist. Well, after their evidence, the 2 SAS men were whisked away from the back of the court. Their identity still a secret. Derek Taylor, ITN, Westminster Coroner's Court.
Leaders of the 30,000 water workers have just had a new pay offer. The employers have increased their original 7.9% offer, but it's not clear yet whether it's enough to avert the threat of the first ever national water strike.
Well, after 3 hours here, the 2 sides are still sparring. The full negotiating teams are still waiting in the wings while their leaders try to hammer out a blueprint for a deal. The employers are, we understand, ready to table an improved offer, but they're believed to be anxious to keep the final cost of the deal below 10%. The union leaders' target is 13 to 15%, such as the miners got. They probably settle for less, but with such a strong mandate for industrial action, they're not inclined to try to sell their members anything under 10. More than 10% would presumably make the government unhappy, not because of the effect of the water workers' deal alone on public sector costs, but because an agreement of that level would be used as a marker by other groups like power station workers, hospital staff and civil servants. Michael Green, ITN at the Water Council.
Well, some water workers say they've been threatened by neighbours if they do strike. That's because of the chaos a long strike could bring. We've been looking at what could happen in one area.
Areas like the northeast are blessed with fresh river supplies, but even these have to be tested and treated with chemicals. A strike would close this treatment plant, leaving household tap water untreated and washing and drinking water rationed from standpipes. Sewage, usually collected here in settlement tanks and then dumped out to sea, could be easily diverted into these storage tanks with 4 weeks capacity, since many pumping stations were